Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Gregory Martin, aka the Super Producer, and here we are back with another series review. But before we get into the video, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It keeps you notified whenever I post a new video. And with that being said, let's just jump right into today's review. And today we are reviewing the Netflix original series Unorthodox. So Unorthodox is a limited series about the Hasidic Jewish community here in Brooklyn, New York. Now this series to me was so interesting. I know when I first started wanting to produce, one subject that I was really interested in was doing a look at this community. They have such influence in Brooklyn, and so this series was something that I felt was really overdue. I feel that there's a lot that us as outsiders of their community don't know about them. I have friends who used to be in that community and left that community, and they would just tell me these stories about how the community operates and kind of how secretive they are in certain rituals and things like that. So for me to see this on Netflix, and for someone to take time to put together like a 4-hour TV series about this community was very fascinating to me. I forget the name of the woman, but she was in this community. I think the community was called the Satmar, but she used to be in this community, and apparently she left this community. She's taken parts of her life that she experienced while she was in the community, and she's kind of told a story around it. So basically the series is about this young girl who's a part of this community, and she doesn't really feel like she fits in. There are some circumstances around her mother that we don't know until the end of the series. The daughter is taken away from the mother, and she's raised by her grandfather and grandmother. She really has this estranged relationship with her mother. She still feels like an outcast. You could tell just the way that she moves, the way that she talks, that she questions whether or not that this is the life for her. One of the biggest things that kind of put her against this community is the whole arranged marriage or matchmaker that they employ to match up the men with the women. The families have a very profound shadow on their kids' lives, on who they marry and who they don't marry, and the consequences of these actions have a large effect how the families are seen in the community and abroad. So this young girl gets married to this well-established family. It's a big ceremony and whatnot. And the next step for them is to have kids. One thing that really caught my eye during the series, she was having an interaction with someone, and it was brought up that the women are pretty much baby making machines. That's their sole purpose. Now I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. That's just what the series portrayed. But the girl was pretty much ostracized because she had never had sex before, and obviously the guy never had sex before, and it was just a very awkward and it felt very unnatural the way that they were going about making her feel bad for her not being able to have a baby. It hurt her so bad that she decided to leave. She befriended a woman who bought a ticket for the girl for her to see her estranged mom in Germany. It was a big deal when the girl left. It was a black mark on the husband and the family, on both families. The rabbi sent the husband and this guy who's kind of like the black sheep of the community. Apparently has all these debts that he has unpaid. The rabbi was going to forgive his debts if he went and found the wife and brought her back to the husband. They go and chase the girl in Berlin. When the girl is in Berlin, she has this spiritual awakening. She sees how life is outside of her community. The filmmakers did a really good job of visuals and really showing like these signs of like rebirth and things of that nature. There's one scene where she first arrives. She meets this group of teenagers who are playing music, which she loves to do as well. And they invite her to the beach, and she's still in her, she has her wig on. She is fully, she has the dress. She looks like a, Hasidic Jewish woman. These kids, they jump in the water. They're getting out of their clothes. They jump in the water, and she decides she wants to get in the water as well. And I was interested to see how they were going to do this scene, whether she was going to have this moment of liberation And I'm really glad that the filmmakers went there. She pulled off her wig, she pulled off her stockings, you know, she took off her shirt, and she got in the water, and you could tell just from the way that they set it up and they filmed that this was supposed to be like just a huge moment in her life. I'm not sure how many days this was supposed to take place in the actual series. In the course of a week, you definitely see her getting more comfortable. You know, she starts wearing jeans, she starts wearing shirts, she doesn't have the wig, she's showing her natural hair. It's a really fascinating story about self-discovery in the midst of everything that's going on. Even to the point where the guys who were chasing her, you know, like she left her husband because he wasn't understanding. He only cared about himself and what his family thought of him. During the whole trip to Berlin, you know, it was really cool to see the growth on all the characters who left the community, from the girl to her husband. You know, I could see a change in him. He kind of got it. Even the cousin that was brought, you could see the difference between how they were in the community and the way that they were in the secular world. Just all in all, it was a really interesting story. You know, like I'm always interested in learning stories from communities outside of my own. Even after watching the making of the series, the depth that they went to portray it as accurately as possible. They found a rabbi who was, I'm not sure if he was outside of the community or he just wasn't, I guess maybe not as old school as the traditional people would be, but he showed the production around the community and showed them what certain traditions look like, the clothing, what they eat, what they wear. But what I came away from this series is, you know, this community, just like our regular society, has its own classism. You can definitely tell who was the more revered members in the community and who were the lower on that totem pole. And so it was really interesting to see that still persists outside of our normal society. And I also think it's one of these things where you will Google this community and you'll just kind of fall down a rabbit hole of trying to learn as much as you possibly can. That's kind of what I did after watching this series. But other than that, guys, that's all I have for this particular series. Like I said at the beginning, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.